If you have just joined us, welcome to Central News. With summer upon us, water sports are at a high, but are you taking the safety measures needed to keep friends and family safe? Nicole Botherway tells us about the current boating rules in the Waikato.
Yes, as with any sort of sports, there's some sort of element of risk, and I think when most people undertake any sort of sport, they go through and they learn the rules. A lot of people, and certainly not everyone, but a lot of people are buying vessels, they're getting kayaks, and they're going out on the water and not actually knowing the rules, and that can cause risk for anyone. I don't think the water sort of gets the respect that it deserves, and it can be quite unforgiving, in fact more so than the road.
So what are the main tips for keeping safe out on the water?
There's lots of different ways that you can do that. Probably the thing that we like to encourage people the most is to actually do a boating education course, and there you can meet sort of other like-minded people, you can learn all the rules in a really great environment. They're a lot of fun to do, and you can pick up tips and hints from each other. The main sort of, I guess, the official rules, that are national rules, is to have life jackets on board, and that those life jackets have to be appropriate for all of the people on board, the appropriate fit, and also in a readily accessible situation, so they can't be locked away. You need to be able to get to them quickly if you need to.
Can you expand on the life jacket safety rules?
Yeah, so as I was saying before, so the national rules are that you need to carry enough life jackets on board for all of your occupants. They need to be readily accessible, so if something happens you need to be able to get them very, very quickly, and they need to be an appropriate fit for everyone on board. Some of the research that we've done over the summer has shown that the life jacket fit, especially for children, is really inappropriate. They're quite often too big because people are expecting them to grow into them, but I don't think people realise that your child will actually slip out of it, and if they're too small it means that it won't actually be able to hold their weight in the water, so both too small and too big can be dangerous.
So do these rules vary from region to region?
Yes, they do. Some regions have the life jacket rule that you also need to be wearing your life jacket in a vessel 6 metres and under, and Waikato Regional Council has that out in their draft bylaw at the moment, which we're asking people to submit in. If this was to come in, then we would be the 6th regional council to bring that in, so there's 5 others that have already got that in at the moment, and it's certainly where a lot of the people are starting to talk.
Now, you are currently collecting submissions from members of the public to post feedback on the rules around wearing life jackets. What results have you had so far, and when will the meetings for this begin?
The meetings for the hearings are in March. The actual submissions that people have put in, that hasn't closed yet, so we can't talk about the specifics of what is in those submissions. What we did is something that we wanted to do as a sort of extra special way to get submissions in, and also to get people to know the rules, is we went out and we did pre-consultation. So before the draft was even finished, we went out and we did meetings all over our region where we could talk about what things were important to the community, and we actually had them to help us do our draft, and it was a lot of that feedback. In fact, over 80% of the people in there, and also our telephone interviews, that wanted compulsory life jackets in the vessels, and some of those were bigger than what we actually brought in. Some of it said 8 metres, but 6 metres seems to be the Maritime New Zealand statistics. Most of their statistics are that I think it's approximately 80 to 85% of all incidents take place in vessels 6 metres and under, and that's why we've chosen 6 metres as our rule.
So how can members of the public send in their feedback?
Sure, on our website page, so that's www.waikatoregion.gov.nz, there's a bylaw page. You can go through and do your submissions online, so it's really easy for everyone. We've also got links there for educational material. We do a lot of bar crossing days, and we want to encourage people to actually go out and learn the rules, and also have their chance to shape them as well.
So what should people do if they find themselves getting into trouble when in boating activities?
So I think you actually get into trouble usually because you haven't done a lot of pre-preparation. So it's prepare, just like you would prepare for an earthquake or any sort of emergency. tell everyone on board where the life jackets are, make sure that everyone knows how to use the VHF radio and that they know what the emergency channels are. Putting your cell phone in a dry bag is a really, really good idea. It means that if you end up in the water, your cell phone is not ruined and you can actually call for help. Having your vessel named is really, really important, and that's a search and rescue piece of advice, and a lot of it's written into the bylaws now. And the reason that is if you are looking for a aluminium boat or a white Haynes Hunter, there's a lot of them out there. So if the Coast Guard are looking for a certain name, they can discount a whole lot of them and make the rescue a lot quicker.
So what's the number one message here?
Families are losing their loved ones because people aren't wearing their life jackets. You don't necessarily have to be doing anything wrong, just like when you're on the road you wear your seatbelt, not because you think anything's going to happen, but because accidents do happen. I think people underestimate how easy it is to put on a life jacket once you're in the water, and especially children. All of the teams responsible for navigation safety want to see our water resources, both inland waterways and coastal, used to their full potential. It's a beautiful resource. We want people to have fun. At the end of the day, we want people to go home to their families, and that's just the message that we want to get through.
And what were the number one causes for concern before the draft bylaw was released?
Sure. A lot of people talked about what they'd like to see, and some of the comments that came back is that they were very, very concerned about the consumption of alcohol, especially by the skipper on the boats, and also that a lot of people were unaware of the rule that you actually keep right, not keep left, like the road, and that's causing a lot of accidents, but also frustration by the people that do know the rules. So we really encourage people to do those boating education courses. They're easy to do, great environments, but you can also do them online if you're a really busy person like most of us get.
That is the news for today. We really want you to be involved, so like us on Facebook and let us know your views. If you have news including your own video and photos, go to our website and hit upload. Thanks for joining us. I will be back tomorrow night with more guests from in and around the regions. I'm Hilary Entwistle. Have a lovely evening.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.